What's going on, fam? Welcome back. It is Tuesday, 5:45 a.m., March the 7th. That's a 2 on top of the 5 that was down low, so it wasn't like I was just putting up a 2. Anyway, I was looking at the thumbnail last night, and I just didn't even think about it this morning when I got dressed, but this must be my Tuesday hoodie, you know? It's just the one that gets put on. But anyway, last week, we talked about habits and good habits to have to start your transition and becoming more disciplined, and take that drive and that spark to start to change your life. So today we're going to take that a step further with what I refer to as non-negotiables. So the difference between habits and non-negotiables to me is habits are usually things that, you don't have to think twice about them. You just get them done. Even if you're dreading them a little bit, they still get done naturally. They're just going to happen. Like, for instance, for me, working out. Like, working out's a habit of mine, but I don't have to convince myself to do it. There's days where it's hard to show up because I'm tired or this, that, the other, but I still do it because I know if I don't do it, it'll be 10 times worse. So working out, it's just something I do. It's engraved in my lifestyle. So the difference between the regular habits and the non-negotiables is the non-negotiables are the things that we really have a hard time of convincing ourselves to do it. And we always try to find all the excuses like, oh, I'll double down tomorrow, or I'll do it later today, or I'll do it after this or after that, or, oh, this came up, I only have this amount of time. But like, it's realistically, it's not taking you a long time to do. You can just do it, but we just find reasons not to. So for myself, I have 3 non-negotiables, and I started doing the non-negotiables the last fall, and from there it's only picked up, and it's become such an easy transition in regards to getting shit done and doing the things that I want to do, and then my life path starting to straighten up. So my non-negotiables are reading, stretching, and journaling. So these are 3 things where in the past I would always struggle. Like, I would just find an excuse not to stretch because, like, oh, I don't have 20 minutes right now, I can't stretch. But realistically, I have more than that. I have plenty of time to stretch, and I don't even have to think about the stretching because I follow a stretching app. So the app just puts me through the 20-minute stretch. I just have to do the movement. Why not? Reading. I have so many books, and they're not hard to read books. Like, there are 3 beside my bed right now. Pick it up and read before you go to bed. And then journaling. It doesn't have to be in the aspect of write a novel. It can be simple gratitude, or it can be simple reflection of the day. But for some reason, I would just find every excuse in the world not to do these. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this instead, or, oh, my biggest one is I'll do this later, and then that turns into I'll double down tomorrow. But the principle of doubling down tomorrow doesn't make up for the day missed. Because in all grand scheme of things, tomorrow's not guaranteed. So by not doing it the day before, doubling down is not going to make up for that lost time, because potentially that double down might not ever happen. So that concept right there is what got me on the path of, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't try to justify and make up for a missed day that I chose not to do because I think I can just come in tomorrow and do it twice as much. It's not how life works. It's not. So those 3 things are my non-negotiables. Those 3 things are things that every day I set the time and make the time to get them done, regardless of if it's the last thing I do. If I want to be in bed by 10, but I haven't done any of those things, I'm up until I do all 3 of those things, because those are the things that I've battled with the most. And those are the things that are going to shape my life to where I want to go in my trajectory. And a lot of the excuses that we face come from our conscious mind. So our conscious mind is that just loud, yell at you, thought here, thought there, thought here, thought there, thought here, thought there, voice. It's like the kid in the corner just throwing paint everywhere, and then somehow it sticks on the canvas, and sometimes it looks good, other times it's just a mess, you know? So our conscious mind, like, you ever have those intrusive thoughts and you're like, where'd that come from? Why'd I think that? What the hell, where'd that come from? Like, why is my mind working like that? That's your conscious mind. There's really no construct to it. It's just chaos. It's just anything and everything. If you saw something in a movie, it's gonna probably come up and put you in that realm of what your thoughts were based on that movie. Like, it's just that vivid. It's just crazy. It's just But then your subconscious mind is that small voice. It's that tiny voice. That's the essence of our being right there. That's the voice that knows everything that we want to do truly and who we want to be truly. This is the voice that hears how we talk to ourselves and what ultimately shapes our view of the world and the view of ourselves in this world. This is the voice that we need to follow. The conscious mind's all here. And you never have those moments when you're all here, but then you hear that little voice here. We tend to ignore this because we're like, oh, what is this? That's nothing, that's small. And then you go back to listening to this. This is the clutter. This is the noise that we got to shut out. This is the distraction. This is our essence. This is the guide that we need to follow. Because ultimately, this knows where we want to go. And when we hone in and do these things, these non-negotiable things, this voice gets a little louder. This voice gets a little more clear. You can actually start to understand and listen to what this voice is telling you. And then this starts to dissipate, starts to quiet down. It starts to just be a faint noise in the background. So that's why these non-negotiables are so very important, because the idea is to stop this, get rid of this, tell this to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. This does. So your non-negotiable should come from a place of honoring this. And when we do that, and we continue to do that, it makes it stronger, it makes it better, it makes us better, and it starts to lead us on the route that we want to go. I know it's a little repetitive, and I've said it like 3 times, but it's true. And I'm saying it to instill the fact that that's the idea that we have to imply in our life. Like, we have to construct that type of discipline in our life to be able to get the life that we think we deserve, or the life that we want to live, if that, you know? But the biggest thing too is when we do that time and time again, those non-negotiable habits just become a part of your lifestyle. And when they become part of your lifestyle, and then you don't have to think about it anymore, and you can open up the room to add more non-negotiables if you need it. You know, you might find at the point where they're so engraved in your lifestyle that the non-negotiables that's not even a term you use anymore, because everything's non-negotiable. You know, your lifestyle is just non-negotiable. You can't tell you shit. Like, you gotta just do it. And that's how it should be. That's where you're trying to build yourself towards. So, I mean, a lot of this mentality stuff, like, it starts with you. Like, you have to do the work. It's easy to say, oh, I want to go do this, but you don't do the work behind it. Like, it's easy to say, oh, I want to go squat 315, but you never squatted 225. Like, what we're living in a false reality. Like, we got to honor ourselves, and we got to honor the reality that we're in, and then we got to use that to motivate us, to push us forward. So, non-negotiables. For you, you don't have to pick 3. It doesn't have to be 3 different things. I just work with 3s because, I mean, it's just, I'm a big sports analogy guy. So, like, the idea of a 3-strike rule, like, I just, like, with my clients and with everything, a lot of what I do, 3rd time's a charm, like, stuff like that. Like, I'm about that. Because, I don't know, it just works in my brain. Like, this is the best way I can explain that right now. So for you, you can just pick one non-negotiable, and that one non-negotiable can be the difference today that you're looking for you tomorrow. So think about it, dwell on it, construct it, attack it, do it. And that's what I got for you today. So until next time, be humble, stay hungry. Out.